Welcome people of the World Wide Web, and we have another movie review today on this lovely, or probably not lovely, weekend. So we have A Knock at the Cabin. So I managed to see this on Thursday night late, just before it is kind of coming out of cinemas. Been trying to get to watch this film for a few weeks and I've not seen the trailer, so I didn't know what to expect. So let's get on. I will keep the spoilers until a little bit, so we'll talk. So if anybody hasn't seen it, the premise is you have a cabin in the middle of there's nowhere, and these four people turn up and basically give an ultimatum to the people inside the cabin. The people inside the cabin are two men, a gay couple, and their daughter. And basically this ultimatum is, if this doesn't happen, it will be the apocalypse and the end of the world. And then we go through all the consequences of if they basically get given a decision in kind of time periods, and if it doesn't work, or if they agree no, then there's consequences, blah blah blah, and leads to then a final conclusion. So it's taken me a little while to do this video. I thought very much and hard on this, and this movie has made me think very much. We will go with the rating, so I'm going to rate it 5 out of 10. We'll put it up there. It was all right. Now there are a lot of. It's okay. We'll put the spoiler warning up there. Let's just go straight into it. Okay, so I don't want to ruin anybody's enjoyment of them seeing it, but yeah, let's go. So basically, the core element of this is of kill one person to save like a billion. I'm sure people have seen like this conundrum or this mindset been put across many times. You know, it goes, if you found this person who maybe was immune to cancer, but you would have to kill them to get the cure from them, but it would cure millions, would you do it? And this is the basic premise of this movie. So these four people turn up. They are more or less ordinary people from around America, but they have had this vision that there is an apocalypse, and basically someone in this cabin has to die. So you have the two dads and the little girl, and the premise that they put to them is basically one of them has to die, but out of the three, one of the other two, or both of the other two, they have to kill that person. These four people cannot intersect with, they cannot intervene, they cannot kill the person. They are just there to make sure it happens. Now, this is where it gets a bit, as I say, it is a thinker. There is a lot of underlying issues, and maybe I've missed stuff and that, but you get very quickly on this four people, they come apocalypse. They are the horsemen of the apocalypse. Obviously, there are very incarnations through time and stuff. So, famine, death, and stuff, and they have kind of different names here. I don't know too much about it, so it's only speculation on what I know. But as it goes, and this is where the spoiler is, they go to the two dads and daughter. Basically, you have to choose somebody. Will you choose somebody? If they go no at these intervals, one of these four horsemen basically get killed, lay down, and the other 3, 2, 1, or whatever, kill themselves. That's how it is, until they make a decision. And then as it goes on, they don't want to make a decision, as you would kind of agree. Obviously, if you have your partner and your child with you, or these strangers are basically saying that you have to kill somebody, they just kill themselves. I don't know if somebody killing himself in front of me would encourage me to kill my partner or a child or that. And this is where my views. I thought about it honestly. I get that they were the horsemen of the apocalypse and stuff like that. Was very kind of clear, or the subtle undertone of that. I kind of feel they should, to me, bring another person. They should have had a hostage, someone who you didn't see who they are. And to be honest, I would have put to the dads and that, you have to kill this person. You don't know who this person is, or there could be a connection to them, there may not have been, but basically, rather than these horsemen kill them, because to me or you, if you are there with your family and people break in and basically they go, you kill your partner or your daughter, otherwise we'll just keep killing ourselves, I'd be like, you're holding me hostage, you won't let me go, I'll just wait until all of you kill it themselves, and then I'm free, technically. And then that brings the other element. So, and again, this is the apocalypse thing, and to be honest, I don't think this is handled the best it could be. So, when they start saying about it, and when the first person, before the first sacrifice, they turn on the TV and there is a recording, and it says basically there's been, I think, a tsunami, and it shows you video and stuff. And one of the ones is like, well, this is pre-recorded, and this is the thing, it keeps you going because you don't get to see any views outside this cabin apart from this TV, but every other Wi-Fi signal that doesn't work except for this TV, which did seem a bit strange. I mean, they probably have some sort of phone line into the cabin, because if it was internet, they said like internet doesn't work, people's phones don't work. Okay, so you kind of get, when they show you this TV, you're like, well, that could be a recording. You have no premise, and you don't see the people coming to the cabin. It starts with them already being there, and this is where I would have liked to actually. They show a flashback later on of them going. They show you a flashback of these people, the two dads and daughter, and some events that happen in their life to kind of get them where they are. Kind of a bit like Megan to me. They've not necessarily had because of gay and the prejudice that have gone against them. One of them does get attacked in a bar early on, and he does believe that this is one of the horsemen that he comes, the one played by Ron Weasley, Rupert Grint. It never really confirms or denies that. It kind of shows that, and it shows from that he being attacked. He then goes on to learn kind of fighting, and he buys himself a gun and stuff like this. Which, this is the thing I think with films, like when you start with characters that have a bit of a shit life or haven't had the best of life, it makes you sympathise more with those people. They then get put in a worse situation, which is kind of this cabin. Why would you then root for these people to like kill someone else? Why would you add extra grief to that? It's, to me, I was not. And then I was to say, and then sorry, I'm digressing, but obviously then you go from the apocalypse side. So obviously they have these tsunami and tornadoes. That's the first apocalypse. He died, or the first acolyte. He dies. The second one, and then there's this virus outbreak, which obviously touches a bit home, that obviously we've all been through COVID and stuff like this, but this affects kids and stuff. And one of the guys, he said, this has been around for a while, they're only just putting more of a focal point on it because it's pre-recorded, which could have been the case, because you have no concept outside of them in this cabin. You have no idea of the outside world, only from these few flashbacks. And then from the third one, when it comes in, then planes will start dropping out the sky, and this is something that, like, when you're seeing all these news articles, and one of the hostages claims that this is fabricated, because you've seen none of the outside world, you have no concept of if it's true or if it's false. Maybe this is part of his story, M. Night Shyamalan's storytelling. But the news reporter says 500 odd planes have fallen out of the sky. So basically this apocalypse is causing all these planes to fall out of the sky and kill people. And that's when they, and one of the dads actually comes to a little bit more. He's starting to actually worry about this. Now, obviously, they're in the middle of nowhere, but no planes magically drop out of the sky at this point around them. The first tornado hurricane happened several hours before they got to the cabin. Again, if you'd built this up and had them go into the cabin and them saying there's a natural disaster, maybe they're passing people on the street and you see like viruses or it's starting to look a bit apocalyptic. I think this kind of builds a premise that they could actually believe what they're saying, because there is no other foundation. And I mean, you have four people that burst into your home and say the apocalypse is going to happen, we've had this vision, and the only few bits they say is they met on this boardwalk and they spoke over this chat, and even one or two times there is a little bit of contradiction of what they spoke about, and you're like, so anyway, a little bit later on, obviously 3 of the 4 apocalypse kill, and the 4th one they managed to get free. Well, 2 of them, sorry. One of the dads kills the 3rd lady. The 4th one, Batista, locks himself or they lock him in the bathroom. Then he smashes a window and they're like, did he get out? And there's a shower curtain. It's a very small bathroom, and he's got this gun and he shoots one hole into this bath curtain, and he's like, is he in there? It's building tension. Now anybody in a rational mindset, you look at this tiny window and you know Dave Bautista, I'm like, there is no way he could get through this. Like, and if you have like this bathtub with a shower curtain around it and you shoot one hole in the middle of it, I'm like, you've got a loaded gun, which I assume from, I don't really know, from movies, they have like 15 shots. He's used a few. Shoot 3 or 4, shoot down, shoot up, you know. I wouldn't be going anywhere near there. He's locked in the bathroom. He ain't getting out the window. I would have just gone. But I'm not me. So anyway, it ensues a little bit back and forth, but Bautista kind of wrestles the gun off him, but then still kills himself anyway because they don't want to sacrifice himself. One of the dads is having kind of second thoughts a little bit. The other dad who was attacked, he is kind of very strong-willed against this and kind of it's fake still. But obviously they go outside the house, and this is after the news. So the news report had shown the planes dropping out the sky. They've had this tussle with Bautista. They go outside, and then there's 1 or 2 more planes falling out the sky. And I'm like, well, if all the planes, like 500 planes dropped out of the sky, every other plane, if there was any other plane, they will have either crashed out of the sky already, and you would have felt the shocks and the blasts and seen stuff and that, and none of that was around. So you have no, again, when I don't know if maybe that was a point to include that actually this apocalypse is real and they need to make a decision. So I say this has been such a kind of mind, so many questions and stuff of how this and you know, and obviously Bautista kills himself, and obviously because they see the planes, and then obviously the forest that they're in is starting to catch on fire. They obviously realise that the apocalypse is but real, and they come to realisation one of them has to die. They send the girl off to a tree house, and one of the dads has to choose. And then this is where the thing gets me. If you know, like, no offence, if it is the end of the world, would you want to kill that one person that you love the most in the world? Obviously, forget about the daughter here. It's, you know, this is your partner for life, you know, the person you've married the first, you know. And, you know, you have the caring one who kind of isn't as a bad, you know, has had a bad life going through the flashbacks. The other one, he has had quite flashbacks. You know, why would you put your partner through that, killing the person they love? 2, the little girl, she's almost 8, I think I want to say. She's going to know, because obviously one of the dads goes, oh, no, I want you to remember me, I want you to kill me. I'm like, but your daughter's old enough to know that one dad killed the other. Like, a lifetime living with, both of you living with that, is that really the healthiest way? Plus, it's like, yeah, there is kind of, it seems like there's an apocalypse and stuff, but there is nothing to say, because you've only seen like 1 or 2 planes and a bit of fires. There is no concrete evidence to say that even if you kill the other partner, that it will stop. You could all be dead. And to be honest, and like, if it is kind of looking like the end of the world, me, I'd personally go out with my family. I wouldn't want to live without them. But that's just me. And obviously, why I say spoilers and that, in the book, obviously, or in real life, the caring dad, he gets killed by the harder dad, and then they kind of have a moment with Dawn. They drive and they kind of they find the truck because their truck has been damaged. While this is happening, obviously the fire around them burns the house, and then they kind of drive off to a restaurant and they drive off, and you assume they kind of have an happy ending. To me, I'm like, right, so it ends with you killing the person you love. Your daughter knows, or must come with some recollection that she died, because she's been there most of the time. She didn't get to see you kill him, but she must know that you killed the person you love. There are 4 bodies in a burnt down shack with bullet holes in them that related to a gun that you own. I know the world's gone to shit here, pardon my French, but I'm like, someone at some point is going to go, oh, like, all these people haven't turned up for work and all this stuff, and then they trace their bodies back in their car that you have now, and they drive to this like burnt out hut, and they go, oh, there's your car. Where's your partner? His burnt body is inside this thing. Obviously they'll find traces of bullets, and they'll find these other bodies who are littered around. Surely the police are going to be like, well, you've done something dodgy here. and arrest you. The story of, oh, well, 4 people came in and told me that the apocalypse was happening. Who would, in their right mind, ever believe that? And there's this stuff, and I was like, that does not make a good... Now, in the book, the dads tussle over who decides, and they end up shooting the daughter, and she dies. I thought that was quite a good ending. Obviously, I don't approve killing kids, but it's something that you wouldn't necessarily see coming. But yeah, it felt like there were elements there that were just missed, that didn't work, and some stuff, you know, and the concept is good. He took an original concept, you know, would you kill one person to save money? But I just thought it needed, and to me, it needed more initial scenes at the beginning to build the premise of what was happening, to show that possibly there was an apocalypse, so you would have more of a belief from the hostages. Because yeah, as I said, the concept, people break in and go, if you don't do what we say, we're just going to kill ourselves. You know, human nature is fight or flight. And like most of us are probably shit scared, especially somebody like Dave Bautista broke in, tied you up and went, well, we're just going to kill ourselves if you don't kill somebody you love. You would just go, okay, you will kill yourself, and then you would save the family you love, and you would walk out of that. And then if you realise it was the end of the world, then maybe you had a decision to make. And this is why I think bringing a stranger in and saying there is a person here, we're going to start hurting them and kill them if you don't say, and that I think maybe would have made a better element. But I say I could probably talk about this movie for ages, but I'm not going to talk anymore. I've wasted all of your time. Well, not wasted your time, but hopefully you found it useful. Obviously, if you've seen this film, please do comment, you know, if you like my assessment, if you agree, not agree. I mean, M. Night Shyamalan is very hit and miss, I feel, sometimes. But yeah, again, 5 out of 10. I would definitely worth a watch. I say it does invoke a lot of questions and answers. I'm interested in other people's opinions. I've not watched any other reviews yet. There wasn't really many behind the scenes stuff to say about this, apart from the book and that. But yeah, I've been Cypher Sigma. Hope you've enjoyed the review, and I will see you in the next one. Signing out.